Hi there, today I'll be presenting my speech based upon the future of electric cars. So what I wanted to start by asking you guys is, how many of you drive a car to school or work every day? If so, how much do you guys spend on gas? I spend usually about $45 to $50, and that's quite expensive if you ask me. But what if I told you there's a car that runs solely on electricity and not gas? Well, that would be an electric car, of course. So many of you wonder, what is the main reasons for having an electric car? Well, the main reason is that it would reduce CO2 emissions in your carbon footprint. And CO2, as we learned in chemistry, is a harmful byproduct which could harm our ozone layer in the atmosphere. Another reason is that oil and gas are non-renewable. So eventually we're going to run out, and I'll get later into that in my speech. One fact I'd like to share with you guys is that the first electric car was in 1828. However, not until the year 1889 was the first real concept, and this was stated by energy.gov. And these cars were not perfected until after 1970s or so. And main reason I picked this topic is because one of my family members owns an electric car, and he exclaimed that it was amazing, improved his life. And ever since Tesla released new models, I became more interested into this topic, and seeing all these new supercars that are based upon electricity amazed me also. So eventually, so I would like to present the details and facts about electric cars and the reason why you should buy an electric car in the future and the effects that could have. So let's get started by going into the facts and details. So what I'd like to start by saying is that according to the Cars Guide, there are 1.4 billion cars registered around the globe, but this is not even recent data, so there could be more. And then I would go on to say is that according to James Cleash, an environmental engineer, states about 19 pounds of carbon dioxide is released from 1 gallon of gas burned from a car. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that 1 gallon of gas makes 19 pounds, so do 19 pounds times 1.4 billion cars. That's a lot of CO2 produced into the atmosphere, and that could really hurt us in the end. And then I like to move on by saying, and Cleash also states that these numbers, well, this fact will be based upon my next slide. So as shown here on this map, these are the electric cars driven in each division of the United States and how much CO2 the electric cars produce. So electric cars still produce CO2, but it's very, very minimal. So these are actually low numbers. Here, if we go in the next one, these are also numbers in the east side of the United States. Now this red circle here shows how much a conventional car produces. So it says it produces about 11,740 pounds of CO2 per year, and that's a lot. And that's just one conventional car, and there's millions of cars in the United States. And also in Abu Dhabi, there have been testings and experiments. So we're going on to see which is better, a gas car or an electric car. So this was tested under hot, extreme weather. So the test showed that according to the university students of Abu Dhabi, that the electric car was much more efficient in the motor, and the gas car costed more per mile, while the electric car was cheaper per mile. And many of you question isn't an electric car expensive right now? Well, not really, and it's a trending reason. So if we look upon this graph, it shows that it's a pretty trending graph. Tesla has almost sold about, well, this number might have grown, so Tesla sold over 200,000 cars so far, and it's increasing. Over there in Europe, they're selling millions of electric cars. So, and that's because people are more concerned about the environment, about the earth, and the costs are going down. The luxury of an electric car is improving too. Richard de Neufville also claims that the reliability over a standard warranty, so the reliability of an electric car, such as 3 years and 50,000 miles, is unknown. But this statement was made 50 years ago, so now electric cars, like Tesla developed new batteries that can make you go over 600 miles, and electric cars that can accelerate really fast, so you can get to your destination in a much quicker time. So what I would say, the harmful things that could happen if we don't transition to electric cars is that our ozone layer will eventually disappear, which will cause the sun's rays to harm us and the earth. Water levels will rise because the polar ice caps will melt. So now, if we all switch to electric cars, it would significantly bring the cost down of the electric car, and it will also speed up research and improve the research for better batteries of the car. And if we all started driving electric cars, we would see the polar ice caps staying, and the ozone layer will start healing up. So in conclusion, I'd like to state that electric cars will be affordable for the people, lower emissions, and improve the efficiency of traveling. So I hope you all will take the effort in the future to save some money up, but then also save some money for a solar panel to charge your cars. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are electrified for the future of electric cars. And I'll see you guys in the next time.